Good morning, Colorado. Welcome to a Friday edition of Local Biz Buzz. I'm your host, Larry Hers. And today, in studio, all the way from Boulder, Colorado, I have Steven with Beyondmicrogreens. So, really interesting story you got. Let's hear a little history of you and your company.
Yeah, I'm originally from Chicago. I did 10 years of software sales and really enjoyed that process and wanted to make more of an impact, more of a difference. I knew that was something to do with plants. So in 2018, I traveled down to Peru, to Iquitos, Peru, which is the largest city in the world, not accessible by road. There's about 150,000 different plants and animals, and I got to study under some indigenous people down there, and I got to experience the power of plants. So I came back to Colorado, and I basically turned my apartment into a hydroponic farm.
Is that legal?
It's legal. It was all.
Okay.
It was just broccoli and lettuce and basil and trying a lot of different types of plants. And I came across microgreens. I'm like, how come nobody's doing anything with these? They basically only exist in high-end restaurants as like a garnish.
Yes.
You're right.
That's the only thing I knew of them.
Yes, most people just like a beautiful piece of art. But over in Europe, they're extremely popular for like their health benefits, and there's lots of kits available for people to grow it themselves at home. So I started a microgreens farm, and I moved out to Dillon, Colorado, and I started servicing Vail Resorts and the high-end restaurants out there because it's basically an island out there. Everything has to be imported. And then I was like, I can't even export these microgreens. Typical microgreens farms have about a 20-mile radius that they service. So I started dehydrating the microgreens and going to farmers markets and how can I extend the shelf life and allow more people to have access to these microgreens. And from dehydration, we moved to freeze drying being far superior than dehydration. You're retaining about 97% of everything while extending the shelf life up to 20 years of the product. And moved to Boulder, Colorado, end of 2018, the Silicon Valley of the natural products industry. And from there, Beyondmicrogreens was born, and now we've got a line of organic, functional, delicious teas and seasonings.
So for people at home, explain to them what a microgreen is.
Yeah, microgreen is just a phase in the plant's life. Most people are familiar with sprouts. Sprouts are phase 1, 2 to 4 days old.
Okay.
Microgreens are phase 2, 10 to 14 days old. At the 10 to 14 day mark is when the plant is most concentrated in all the good things. Vitamins, minerals, nutrients, antioxidants, unique medicinal compounds that we third-party lab test for. And so it's just a phase in the plant's life.
And so then what happens after it's a microgreen?
It can grow into a baby vegetable. Maybe you have baby lettuce that's like 2 to 3 weeks old, and then it can grow into a full mature plant, whatever it is.
Okay.
Could be radish, kale, broccoli, lots of different microgreens options. And the nice thing about microgreens is it takes about 92% less time to grow, about 200% less water, and it can be grown in about 80% less space, and it can be grown year-round. 365 days a year because it's grown indoors vertically. So think of like shelves.
Your farm's vertical?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Think of like shelves.
Yeah.
And then, it's a very sustainable way to grow because you can grow it anywhere from the city to the country, anywhere. And anyone at home can grow it themselves in a south-facing windowsill very easily.
Neat. So what is this actually right here?
This is broccoli at about 10 days old. We'll harvest it at day 14. The same day we harvest it, we put it straight into the freeze dryers to lock in as much of that nutritional power as possible.
And are you the only one freeze drying?
Yep, only one freeze drying. We started dehydrating. Dehydrating is great. Dehydration, you retain maybe only about 40% of the good things because you're cooking it. It's basically you're putting it in an oven to get the heat out. Freeze drying freezes it to negative 40 degrees and sucks the water out, so it's very fragile. You can see one of our products that the broccoli has the full green, the texture, the full flavor. It's all there. So that's straight broccoli microgreens. 1 teaspoon of that is about the equivalent to a whole head of broccoli.
Come on.
So now you don't have to worry about cooking, prep, or spoilage. There's about 14 heads of broccoli in that tin. Mm-hmm. That tin's equivalent to about 1.5 of these trays. These microgreens are about 90% water, so you could pack a lot into a small.
When you say equivalent, you're saying equivalent in
nutritional value. Mm-hmm.
So if I just had a teaspoon a day, I
Yep.
get my serving of vegetables.
Of broccoli, yep. So all you need to do, you can just sprinkle it like a garnish on your egg, salad, sandwich, smoothie, whatever you want after you've already cooked it. Because when you apply heat to things for like high heat for a long period of time, you can burn off a lot of the good things. Now we make a tea as well. We do third-party lab test the tea hot and cold to make sure that those unique antioxidants are in there.
Let's talk about the tea.
Yeah, we've got a wide range of
with
tea.
this one?
Yes.
I just took a guess. I'm like, this one's yellow.
Yep.
This tea looks yellow.
We got a wide range of organic functional teas. That is our Sleepy Time tea. That's a, I think it's sealed.
Okay.
I've sealed that one on you. But that's chamomile with lemon peel, lemon balm, lemongrass, and sage. That's like our detox Sleepy Time tea. We have 2 herbal non-caffeinated teas and 2 lightly caffeinated teas.
This one with this one?
That one goes with the Recovery, which is the orange one here.
Okay.
That's our most popular tea. That's a turmeric lemon ginger with tulsi and black peppercorn. That one's really popular for pain, inflammation, joints, arthritis, digestion. It's all herbal, non-caffeinated, organic. There's about 30 to 40 servings in every tin, and you can re-steep each serving 2 to 3 times. So there's a lot of life in there.
Freaking cool.
Mm-hmm.
You got something good going on here.
Thank you.
Okay.
And the last one is
The blue
our black tea. This is a black tea blend. It's a pour, orange peel, organic vanilla flavoring. They all have broccoli microgreens in them. Pour is like a fancy fermented black tea. So that's our most caffeinated tea. We also have a jasmine green tea as well. That's delicious. So 2 caffeinated, 2 herbal non-caffeinated.
So this has the broccoli in it. So if I drink this tea, I'm getting my vegetables for the day?
You get some of it. Not
Yeah, 'cause it
everything
cooks
is water.
off.
True, and not everything is water soluble. Not all vitamins and minerals are water soluble. We're after a unique compound. Basically, we choose broccoli because it has the most powerful antioxidant that we're aware of. It's called sulforaphane. That is created when 2 other compounds get combined. It gets a little sciencey, but there's myrosinase and glucoraphanin. When those two, right? Yeah, me too. Before I learned all of this, when those 2 combine, they create sulforaphane. Sulforaphane is the most potent activator of this pathway in our body that controls more systems than any other pathway. Basically, we have an antioxidant factory within us, and broccoli microgreens are the most potent fuel for that antioxidant factory that's within us. That's what we're testing for in the hot water, the cold water, and the freeze-dried microgreens, fresh, dried, all of it. That's what we're really after.
Shane, are you like, what the heck is going on here? This is the coolest thing. Guy's like a scientist.
It all comes from passion. I have no training in this. I have no background in this. I'm just going down the rabbit hole. Start growing microgreens, start learning about microgreens. I mean, we're one of the biggest voices on microgreens right now, which is strange to me, in the U.S., which is strange to me because I have no training in this. So we're looking for partners to help us to lab test this. It's like this is the work that we feel that governments and like universities should be doing. Like, what are in these plants? We don't know, and that information doesn't exist outside of really the testing that we're doing.
Neat. I'm sure you're going to get the answers because everybody's looking to be healthier.
Yeah.
Where can people buy these?
Beyondmicrogreens.com. Use code FREESHIP. We ship nationwide, and we're also on Amazon Prime.
So they go to your website. What do these things cost?
Everything's $25. Again, there's about 30 to 40 servings in every tin, and you can re-steep each serving 2 to 3 times. Every tin of tea.
So you can get like 100 servings of tea out of one of these?
Yeah, if you re-steep it. Not everybody knows to re-steep. We're used to tea bags, which is like 90% of the tea we consume is in tea bags. That's really low-grade powdered tea. That's typically you only get 1 steep. A whole leaf organic tea, you can get multiple steeps out of. The flavor's really gone after 3 steeps. And the nutrition, there's still a lot of nutrition in there. On average, what would you guess how much nutrients are extracted out of the tea per steep?
I'd say 25%.
Exactly, right about that. About 20%. That's why it might drop, right? That's why you could re-steep so many times, because typically we quit before the tea does.
Well, I'm going to try some of your tea.
Awesome.
You should try some too.
I will. I'll try the same one.
Okay. What's your website?
Beyondmicrogreens.com.
Well, that's easy. Instagram the same?
Yep.
Facebook?
Yep.
Anything else? YouTube? TikTok?
Yeah, our TikTok is Will It Freeze Dry, and that's where we take different kind of funny like we take chicken bones and flowers and all types of things, and we freeze dry them, and then we eat it, and we say, will this freeze dry?
Cheers.
Cheers.
Pleasure to meet you. Really
Nice to
interesting
meet you.
company.
Thank you.
We'll be back for What's for Lunch at 11:30. We have a mukja food truck, some Korean hot dogs. Let's drink. I feel better already.
Yum.